That's a lot of skewers. Which holes are we using there? Jesus. Oh, don't tell me he jumps down too. No. No, not. It's just a pile of idiots, bro. You said nothing wrong. Oh my goodness. The fact that she says this with such confidence. Oh no, why'd you do that? The thing about Grand Blue Season 2 is it does what a lot of good sequels do, which is it takes what you loved about the first season and just does it slightly better and at times exceptionally better. So you're like, oh, it's a good season, did everything I liked and more. The thing is when you look at its final episode, it's arguably its most serious episode. Is it still silly at points? 100%. But when I compare all 24 episodes, and I'm someone who watched season 1 just before season 2 started for the first time, so it's mostly fresh in my mind. I think there's only one moment, and it's also in season 2 that you could argue rivaled the seriousness, but they quickly made it into a joke, and that's when one character was going to leave because they were forced away, parents didn't want her there anymore, and then it was a bait of you just have to go home and tend to the fields for a bit. So, the idea of ending season 2, which is, in my opinion, the funniest season between the two, some of the most outlandish shit ever, and they just kind of tone it down, and they humanize everyone, and they remind you, hey, as much of a slapstick, degenerate comedy as this series is, we also want to remind you that the reason you want to stick with these characters for that confirmed season 3 is that despite how much of an asshole nature they all possess, they do still feel like a group of homies. And I honestly have a lot of respect for what they pulled off because most comedy anime, especially comedy anime that are designed with as many insufferable personalities as this cast honestly have. I mean, I like Iori and I like Koei, but they are the farthest thing as what I would want as actual friends IRL. But damn, do they do a good job at reminding you that, like, it's not as stupid as the show makes you want to believe it is from its first season. Now, you make sure you drop a like on this video, though, show your support, subscribe if you happen to be new around here. Patrons, where you catch my full live reactions to every single episode of Grand Blue. We didn't do much on the channel, mainly because my audience, I don't know, has shit taste or something. I don't know, but it's all over there if you want, and where Season 3 will live as well if you also want to help fund the channel. So, the thing is I've loved every single episode. It's honestly, it was a shame that this just didn't have demand on my channel because it's one of my favorite shows that I watched this season, which is saying a lot because I didn't watch anything bad and I had too much to watch that it became a chore at points. But this show is great, and I think The Island was the perfect way to wrap this all up. You got some funny moments like Chisa basically being like, God damn, he saw my tits. He's in love with me. And she's getting drunker and drunker. And the fact that they have probably one of the funniest gags. Like, as much as I'm saying this was probably the serious episode, like one of the most serious episodes, they had the dumbest gag ever, where it's like, okay, last episode ends with him thinking, oh god, she's dead, she's drunk, she fell down the cliff, I'm jumping, and it's his mortal enemy. And then the twink that they introduced, who's in love with Iori, thinks it's him dying down there, so he jumps down. And then Kohei, being the guy with probably the most questionable hard drive imaginable, little magical girl scream from a wand. And then he gets trapped down there. It just... They piled these idiots like it was nothing, and I absolutely loved it. The worst part, too, is they could have escaped by themselves. There's a wall. There's 4 of them. Stack each other on top of each other. You don't even have to have great strength. You have the wall to brace it. One of them could have climbed out and gotten help. Idiots, but I digress. The thing is that the idea of what they ended up doing with Iori and her is like this fake boyfriend-girlfriend thing, which easily could have been a one-episode gag. The school thinks you're dating and, you know, you'll admit that it's wrong and your life will go back to normal. The fake relationship has remained the whole time, and the idea that, obviously, the author wants you to assume that's the main pairing, right? They've introduced a lot of different love options. I mean, for some reason, everyone wants a slice of Iori. I don't get it. Dude's an asshole and probably isn't going far in life, but that's what you gotta love to see. Men, women, they all want a slice of his cake, apparently. But despite all of the extra harem-level elements, the show has remained to make these two the main couple. And it's why it's so great to see. Like, I personally think she deserves better than Iori, but bless her heart, she is embarrassed. And seeing her stack crates to do a divide, just fantastic stuff. But it was just great because, like, most of these shows would have made that a 1 to 3 episode gag. Fake boyfriend, girlfriend eventually gets exposed. And instead, what we do is we keep it there. People still hate him for having a girlfriend because apparently, I guess they all have to have girlfriends or none of them. I don't know. It's a really weird friend group, and I use the term friend very loosely. She's obviously developing some feelings, but she also's got a lot of resentment for him all at the same time. Hey, love's a bitch. It makes you feel a lot of complex things. Him, he's like, oh, absolutely, you got a great rack. But he's not currently in the thought process of, I'm in love with her. It's more of, if my ball's getting broken today, sort of a thing. Like, he walks in on her last week and he basically says, thank you for the meal. And to be honest, as much of an idiot as an MC as he is, I understand why he was confused. Like, even though he was under the assumptions like, okay, she's probably mad about the tits thing, I didn't even know what he should do in that moment. I'm thinking maybe slip her a note underneath the door, because every time you try talking to her about it, she, like, gets more pissed off at you. But the idea of that, she's like, she thinks he does a confession of, like, of course I love them. And she's like, you're in love with me. And he's like, the f you mean I'm in love with you? It's like, it's a good misunderstanding, and I guess it could have been worse. I thought when he revealed, no, I thought we were talking about your tits, he would have got a chair broke over his head. Instead, it resolves fairly peacefully. And I mean, the sequel bait that they did, and I use sequel bait loosely, is that the mother ends up calling her sister. So it'll be interesting in what that does overall. And I also love how the confirmation for the season. So for those who don't know, when season 2 was announced, it was leaked that season 3 was also being made. And the creators at the end of the episode basically says, for our smart fans, you probably already guessed it, season 3 is coming. I think that's kind of a nod that, like, it's the worst kept secret that season 3 was being made, so it comes to no surprise, but I like it either way. Just a great season. I mean, I started season 2 thinking the first few episodes enjoyable, but I wasn't expecting season 2 to be better than season 1. And as someone who recently just watched it, it's all fresh in my mind. I have an easy comparison better than some who watched it 6 years ago, right? But quickly, they established all the new characters, the old characters that we've come to know and love. They utilized them in new ways, and it just felt like an author who, you know, I didn't really feel like took time to find their footing in season 1, but you can tell that once they did find their footing and know how to utilize all these insane elements, season 2 just succeeded. Like, the cafes and everything that they did, it's just so many great plot points. And season 3, I imagine, will be just as good as season 2, but I also won't be shocked if they find ways to surpass it, because they got a lot of interesting characters. The concept of a dude legitimately being in love with Iori was something I didn't see coming, and I absolutely want more of that. I just completely love it, and how only some of them know the truth, and Iori just thinks he's a homeboy, and I think that's fantastic. But yeah, I mean, for a show that's as silly as this, to end arguably in one of the least silly ways possible and have more humanity and seriousness than we've ever really seen in the show, it's a bold choice, but I think that bold choice is going to pay off for a lot of people being even more excited for season 3 than had they ended on just the funniest episode known to man. Let me know what you thought of the season, though, down below. We only made, now, I think 2 videos on season 2. I think I've made now total 3 videos of Grand Blue. It's a tragedy, so hopefully people watch this and there'll be a demand for season 3, else you know where the video is going to live. So your thoughts, though, drop a like, share your support, subscribe if you're new around here, and yes, Patreon's where it's going to live no matter what. And hey, while you're over there, I also like to give video shoutouts to my patrons. Alright, so today we got Sandra N, 0451 Jim, Match, Mate, Carl Stefan Berndal, Achiel, Old School DM, Convoy 83, Hayden, Cody Namir, and we also have Project 7. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you'll have a good one.